Welcome to Worryosity, where we unpack what makes you bite your nails and keeps you up at night. We are two minds, one spiral. Let's get to it.
Welcome to this episode of Worryosity, where we'll be talking about probably one of my favorite topics, winter sports. Winter sports! So this is a very timely episode because of course, the Olympics, which we both love. We love the Olympics, so shout out to that. But it's also a favorite topic of mine because I have so many stories and worries. And I don't know about you, but growing up in Florida, I mean, I think you have a little bit of a difference, right? Because you went to school in Vermont. But growing up in Florida, it's flat. There's no snow. Winter sports are just so not my thing. So we're going to have some fun today with this conversation.
Yes, we were Flatlanders.
Flatlanders.
Yes, and so let's see. I went to college in Tennessee. Didn't really engage in any winter sports there. Now, I do take it back, though. When I was in high school, there was about 30 minutes away an ice skating rink.
Okay.
In Orlando.
That is a winter sport.
Yes, in Orlando. And I did that twice.
Ever? Your whole childhood?
The whole time. Yeah, before graduating high school. I did it twice.
All right, yeah.
And they did not have the cool little things that they have now that look like little walkers on the ice. Have you seen
Would you have
these?
needed that in high school?
Well,
I mean,
if you've never ice skated before, maybe.
Yeah, okay, true. Yeah. Yeah.
Me? Yes, probably.
Yeah.
But so I did it once with like a group of people. I pretty much hugged the wall the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Then I went on a date in high school.
That's such a date thing
And
to
it
do.
was a cool date thing to do. This guy was super tall. He had not really been ice skating before. It was a disaster because when he fell, it was like, I was worried it was like going to crack the ice because he had such a huge distance to fall.
The gravity itself.
We promptly left. So those were two very quick, not great ice skating moments for me. And then I went to law school in Vermont, and that's the first time I skied. And wow, that was quite
an experience, I'm sure.
Because, shall I talk about that first, or did you do any winter sports before college?
Oh, I did, yes. So
Okay.
ice skating was just kind of the thing to do. I mean, with no hills or anything in Florida, I feel like in order to feel like it's the season, you went ice skating. So I definitely went a few times. And then when I moved here with you, I mean, there's ice skating rinks everywhere in the cold.
Yeah,
so,
yeah, outside.
So I
That's
actually,
kinda fun.
and it was really nice. Exactly, outside. Florida, not outside. But here, yes. And I went with a number of friends actually in high school, college, and afterwards through some of the clubs I was in. So ice skating, I'm okay at it. I mean, I'm hugging the wall at least for a little while, but I can go into the middle.
Wow.
I
Can you
know.
do like tricks? Can you like spin or anything? No.
No, I'm like
Okay.
the whole time.
Yeah. Yeah, I was more of a roller skating gal back when I was little, just because the blade, I mean, it's just like, I think you had mentioned before we got on tonight.
Oh, yeah, that's
You had the
right.
fear of the blade.
Yeah, so even though I have ice skated, and I think that's probably like my least of the worry sports, I will say that one thing that I used to really be worried about is falling and having like the clip of the back part of the blade somehow cut me. And that was such an irrational fear because I was like, first of all, I'm not very good at this, but I was worried that the way that I was going to fall would somehow impale me. And I don't, hey, anybody like physically know if that's even a capability?
Well, no. So a friend of mine is actually a very good ice skater and like Olympic level quality ice skater. And she has told stories about how, like, with partner skating, the blade cutting into the leg.
All you need
of the partner.
is one, rogue skater to like somehow, get you to fall. I mean, maybe this isn't irrational after all, but it has always just like been in the back of my mind every time I go ice skating. It's like, is this going to take me down?
But you wouldn't be doing the kinds of partner tricks
No.
that people at this level are doing.
Right, but what if?
So I don't know if you're really gonna even have the opportunity to do what you were worried about.
I'm just saying, there's some scenarios that I've run through in my head in like a normal ice skating rink where I'm like, this could be really bad. I do want to admit though that those have never happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but just a little bit of a worry for me. But I will say, ice skating is not my biggest worry of the winter sports. We'll get to mine, which is snowboarding.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so it starts with, so I met Jason in Vermont in law school, and he was also originally from Florida, and so we learned to ski together
But it was a different experience for the two of you, though.
as 21-year-old people, 21 and 22-year-old people. Now, never learned to ski before, never been on skis before. We had a roommate in our house who was a competitive skier because she had lived in the Northeast her whole life. And so she was like, oh, I'll teach you to ski. We'll go over Thanksgiving. Snow came around in Thanksgiving, so we went to upstate Vermont and went skiing. And it was not great conditions that day. She's like, we're going to stay at her family's house in upstate Vermont. And she's like, I'll take you to the mountain. There were only runs open in the black diamond category.
Oh, my God.
Yes.
Imagine learning on a black diamond.
There wasn't enough
Good
for
news,
greens
Kat
or
did,
any of that.
so we get the story.
Yeah. There was just like the one lift running that like went up to the top and came down the black mountain or black diamond. And so she's like, okay, down when we're at the bottom. She's like, this is how you turn. This is how you go straight. This is how you stop. Basically, your pizza wedge and your French fries. And she's like, all right, you ready? And I'm like, no. No, I'm not ready. Jason's like, yeah, let's do it. So we ride the scary lift where the conditions were so bad that when you looked up, you couldn't see the end of the lift. It just went into a cloud.
Oh, my gosh.
And it was coming down in like the icy kind of,
no.
so very icy conditions. Which none of this, I recommend none of this for a first-time skier. And I mean, kudos to her that she was brave enough to try this. Kudos to me that we're still friends. But anyway, so we get to the top. I love you. And so we get to the top, and I start trying to go down, and of course it's way too steep and way too icy, and I just start crying. But if my goggles fog up, and then promptly the fog ices up, so I can't see anything out of my goggles now because they're completely iced up. And I have no idea how I'm going to get down. So I sort of sit down and cry. And she's like, oh, this is probably not a great idea. She's already like halfway down, like trying to talk me through it. And so I just start kind of sliding down on my butt. But the problem is there's just no traction at all. And I can't even control that slide. Like, I'm just getting ready to hit trees. Like, it's not a good situation at all. We didn't even have helmets at this point.
Oh.
This was a pre-helmet ski time.
Well, and we'll find out later why they are so important.
Yes. So I was in a panic mode. I had, right now you see blonde hair that's been blown out. Before I had dark hair that was very large and curly most of the time. My hair is very large and curly most of the time, but it used to be dark. and then turned gray. Anyway, so
she digresses.
Yeah, I digress. But as you're going down with that sort of weather and no helmet, the hair is just getting bigger and bigger. So you can spot me easily. I'm wearing a puffy red coat that someone had lent me, and I just have this big halo of brown that my head is just huge at that point. And so, and fogged over goggles so no one can see my eyes.
Oh my gosh.
So she comes back around. I had to sort of like wait, and I'm just sliding down. She comes up and she grabs the tips of my skis together and she skis down backwards while I'm in a crouch position crying. She skis down backwards on a black diamond in terrible conditions, holding the tips of my skis.
Can I just say that you started this story by saying, and props to me that we're still friends, but like props to her that you're still friends. Because, wow. I mean, don't get me wrong. I totally would have done the same thing as her because I'm realizing I am super afraid of ski slopes. Like, I can't get into it at all. Like, I don't know if it's the heights or if it's the sheer, like, acceleration that happens when you go. Like, I don't feel that excitement. But this sounds horrible. Like,
well, so this run only takes like a couple, few minutes to get down.
Yeah.
It took us 45 minutes to get down. It took me that one time 45 minutes to get down. And she goes, I'm going to assume you don't want to go back up. And I'm like, no, I do not want to go back up. Probably ever. No. I'm fine. I'm going to go into this lodge where nobody is here, and I'm just going to sit here, and I'm going to have something hot and
a little après-ski
and let my goggles defrost.
Yeah.
And then we waited for Jason because it was sort of, in my imagination, I know this wasn't exactly what happened, but it's the way it looked to me at the time through the goggles that were fogged up and iced, is I saw he had a green jacket at the time, and I saw that go by in like a fluff of snow and like too fast and not accurate. And it felt like a cartoon where the person's falling and then rolls and has just become a huge snowball by the end. That's how I imagined Jason went down. But then he got back up and did it one more time. So he did a total of 2 times. Not
props.
Gracefully, but props that he went back up with the courage there. I will tell you that later that evening we went home because the next day was Thanksgiving and her mom was cooking us this wonderful feast. We completely all just stayed silent in the car on the way home. It's like we had been through something. And we get back, pass out in exhaustion. The next day, none of us can hardly move because we had exerted so much of every weird muscle in our body that, she was a competitive skier, and she's like, I've never had to do anything like what I did with you before.
Yeah, right.
and Jason and I had never used all the things we had to use
those muscles, yeah.
to do this. And so it was tragic. And later, my next time going skiing was also in Vermont the next year. I took a lesson.
Yeah.
And the guy was like, I can't even believe you're even here. Like, anyone else having had that experience never would have come back. So I felt kind of brave and cool for that, right? That I went back and I'm like...
Thank you so much for validating me and also, like, making me feel really welcome and, like, I'm such a strong lady for coming back.
Yeah, thank you. And my friend and I are still, after all these years, we're still friends. I just saw her a few months ago, so this is pretty exciting.
I love that.
I know.
But I'll tell you, I had kind of a, I don't want to say a similar experience.
It was not a similar.
I want everyone to know I did not make it to the Black Diamond, and that's the best part of this story. So
we took her on this trip that she's going to talk about.
Yeah, so my sister, my brother-in-law, and their 2 kids decided...
They were little.
Really little. They were like, we're going to go on a ski trip. And so, they knew how to ski. Even if she wasn't that great at it, they both knew how to ski. And the kids are so fearless. They're like, yeah, totally, I'm gonna go. Like they I think at that time they'd already had lessons or something, and so they were like they were naturals. Mm-hmm. This was my very first lesson at the ripe age of 16, coming from Florida, and I was like, guys, I really want to learn how to snowboard. That's so cool. So my sister was like, great, that's amazing. Like, I'll sign you up for a lesson. And I think the lesson was supposed to be like 2 days. I think it was a focused lesson with somebody. And so I get on the board and I'm on the bunny slope. And this guy is helping me and telling me all the things that I need to do. And then he's like, okay, lesson over. I'll see you tomorrow. But practice, practice by yourself. And I was like, okay, yeah, I totally have this. Like, it's going to be great. I did not have it. I started going down this very easy bunny slope. On the very small.
This was Massachusetts. This isn't like massive mountains or anything.
No. And on my
Berkshires.
And on my very first run down the bunny slope by myself, I lost control, veered off of the path, and fell and smacked my head on a patch of ice and got a concussion, even with a helmet on. So
I hate to think what would have happened without the helmet. I mean, you really rung your bell. Like, it was scary.
It was bad. It was really bad. And so I was by myself. I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I was seeing stars. It was bad. And of course, like, everyone knows, like, when it snows and it's sunny out, it's bright too. So you have all these issues. I got back to the hotel. I looked at her. I said, I'm not going back. And she's like, what? I already prepaid. I'm like, I'm not going back. And I had a concussion. Like, it was horrible. Mm-hmm. But then the second time I tried, like you, I tried to go back. And I was like, well, maybe the snowboard isn't for me. And this was only a couple years ago here in Maryland. So also not crazy runs. And I did it. And I was actually getting it with skis. I was like, oh, maybe this was it. It was just the snowboard. I've got to do the skis. And I was killing it.
Did you have lessons for that?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, yeah.
And I took it with my friend who had also been wanting to learn how to ski. She had never done it before. And we were killing it. We were doing a really good job. But one thing I got to say is if you're going to learn, I highly recommend that you do private lessons on a weekday. Because on a weekend, you know who's on those bunny slopes with you? Tiny children. And you know who does not have good control but has a very low center of gravity?
Me? Oh, no, I don't have low center of gravity. No, but I have no control.
Me. No, it's also the tiny children.
It's the tiny children, yeah.
So I was like, yes, I'm getting it. It's going to be good. Until one tiny child lost control, slammed into me, turned me around. I rode down backwards.
That's always the best.
And then, you guessed it, smacked my head on a patch of ice. So, I just want everyone to know.
Oh, you did? You hit it on ice again?
Yeah, but no worries. No concussion this time. It wasn't apparently a bad patch of ice. But can you believe it?
Wow.
Can you believe it? Twice. One board, one ski. No more Kate.
So
No more.
you're done with it.
You know, I think at least for a while. You know, maybe this will be like the kid comment you said before. It's like you just forget.
Yeah,
you gotta try again.
It'll take you a minute, but you might go back.
Yeah, I might try again. And I think I'm going to take my own advice. The private lesson in the middle of the week, no kiddos. Can you believe that? Twice.
I mean, I will say, so one time we went with another family out to Vail. And this is my first time doing skiing out west. And we had been skiing in the east a lot just because it was a lot easier with the kids just to be able to drive. We had, we could rent skis for cheap here and take them with us and, that kind of thing. So we did that a bunch, like in New Hampshire and Vermont and stuff. But then we went with another family out to Vail. And that was like a whole different kind of experience because the skiing out there, legit, it's pretty nice. I mean, it's powdery and not icy. And, it was wonderful. So what I did is all the other people skiing, I mean, by that point, my kids, they were still little, but they were really good. Like, they were skiing black diamonds, no problem.
And they still do. They love skiing.
Yeah.
They're really good at it.
And so it was no problem. And I'm like, you know what? You guys and Jason, they like to just go and have fun. And I kind of hold them back. I prefer a nice, long, leisurely green. I'm taking in the scenery. I'm waving to people. I'm not falling as much. So I like those. But like if you tell me that when there's no snow, it's like the road that goes up, that's the one I want to be on, really. More than just like straight down ski runs. So what I did is I took 3 days of lessons at Vail. Whole day lessons. I'm like, you guys go have your fun. I'm going to do my own thing and I'm going to feel confident. I want to be like confident on blues out here because blues out there are like blacks back at home. Like that's really cool. Yeah. So I'm like, all right, I'm just going to get better at this. And I did. I loved it. I made friends who were out there. This one couple from LA, they were like Hollywood people. I made friends with them. And I'm like really just like, oh my God, that's so Seamus. I'd be like saying stuff like that at dinner,
Oh my God.
And my family was just like, what are you even talking about? I'm like, oh, sorry. You had to be there.
You just had to be there. You don't know Seamus like I do.
Inside joke, and so I had the best time with my new friends from LA at Vail. And then anytime that I would then ski with my family, I would fall and be like not having a good time again. It's terrible.
Well, that's because they're just so much better than you.
Oh my gosh. And then
let's just be honest. When they're really good, it's no fun to do it with them.
And I tell you, when Jason starts to give me tips about skiing, that is not good for our marriage. No. And then the children are just like, oh, please. And so they would just kind of go off. Well, so it kind of just progressed after that. And we did go out west a lot. We have friends in Park City. So this became like our favorite place to go.
Sure.
And skiing out in Park City, if you ever have the chance, absolutely wonderful, especially Deer Valley. And the reason why Deer Valley, even though it's ridiculously expensive, if you are a skiing person and you love to go skiing and can afford to go skiing out there, there's no snowboarders on there. And so, because they tend to freak me out and then I'll wipe out when snowboarders come zipping by me.
Well, and I just feel like, I got to tell you from experience, snowboarders, really great snowboarders obviously have great control, but people who are learning to snowboard, it's so hard to have control because your feet are side by side. you can't like move them, you can't separate them. You're constantly this is the control that you have, right? Or how you lean and whatnot, and how you turn your body. And I think that that's different from skiing because you can adjust your feet, you can put them in different directions. And while it's very easy to, kind of go this way or that way with skis, you have more diversity of movement, I think, than when you're in a snowboard. So if you're like trying to learn and you're on those slopes with people who are maybe not so great, it can get scary.
It is.
It can get really scary.
And they're coming in like a different direction. They're coming
Yeah.
backwards and sideways. And all
Yeah.
that where I'm doing my...
Trust me, I know.
I like the very wide runs, so I'm kind of doing this thing where I'm just going long side to side, very slowly. There's this Chuck Mangione song that my family hums when I'm skiing. Like, that's my anthem when I'm skiing. So, yeah, I have family who loves me, clearly.
Yeah.
But I have learned that my favorite snow sport is hanging at the lodge.
Yeah.
That's my favorite.
Après-Ski.
Après-ski's
Right by
my
that.
favorite.
Yeah, right by that fire. I learned after that day, that's my favorite too.
And since we're talking about, like, just loving the Olympics and stuff, I became obsessed with curling.
Very cool.
Yes.
And you got a chance to do that.
I did get a chance to do it.
That's very
So,
cool.
I had been wanting to do it for years. And then Jason surprised me one Christmas with a gift certificate because apparently Maryland has one of the big curling
Training
facilities. So this was super exciting. I'm like, oh, excellent. And so periodically they open it up for like lessons to regular people. And
Regular people.
It is way harder than you think that it's going to be. However, this was the time, and we go back to the story multiple times, I had just broken both my feet. So the timing of this was not spectacular. So I didn't want to give up my spot because there were only like 4 a year to be able to go and do this.
And that was the last one. Like,
Yeah.
you'd have to wait a whole year.
I'd have to wait a whole year. So I was like, all right, I don't have to be on like my little push scooter as much anymore. And so I got I didn't like to call it a cane. I called it my lady walking stick. And I had
It was very pretty.
I had one sneaker on and my medical shoe on the worst foot. And
Are there photos of this?
yes. And then so then what happened is you have these like special things for like the bottom of your feet. So it's not real slippery, but there's still the chance. You have to be able to glide with it, right?
Right.
And then you kind of like get to your knee. And that was hard to do too because like the bending of
the
my
toe,
foot.
yeah.
So I didn't really
Are
get to
videos of this? I asked for photos, but now I want the videos.
Yeah, Jason, I think, has some. You'd have to ask him for that. But it was so much fun. It's really, really hard to do. I ended up having to do a lot of the sweeping since I couldn't do the kneeling part. So I didn't get my full curling experience. Like, I might have missed my calling. I'm kind of thinking I've missed my calling. That I should be.
Hey, no worries.
An
When they
Olympic
open
level.
again for the 4 times out of the year, maybe you should go and give it a
Curler.
try. Yeah.
Well, because I tell you, curling is one of those sports you do not have to pick it up young. And some of the people, even on the Olympic team, are not young.
I know. You could be an Olympian.
I could still be an Olympian.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We, I'm sure there's something where we could all be Olympians.
I thought it might be archery, but no, that's not it. The other one that, no, that one's not. I'm trying to think, what are the other snow sports that I have tried? I did not try bobsled, but I watched it.
Mm-hmm. Like in person, you saw bobsledding?
Mm-hmm.
That'd be really cool. Something that really worries me about bobsledding.
All of it.
All of it. I'm starting to realize this about myself is that I don't really like a ton of speed. Like, I can't imagine myself, like, going really, really fast. Which I'm sure adrenaline junkies out there will be like, wait, no, I can definitely see myself. But I'm not one of those people. But also the idea that you're, like, on something very tiny going really, really fast.
On ice.
On ice?
Mm-hmm.
Like, that to me, like, nah, like, I'm good. But people are so good at it and watching it. Like, I am captivated by it every time I watch the Olympics. And I can't even imagine trying it.
Well, it's exciting to watch because you can go to like the Olympic villages that have them there. You can actually pay to do it and see it done. So that's a lot of fun. I know a friend who actually went and did it Lake Placid, the skeleton.
Oh, really?
Yes. And so that also seems very scary and dangerous, but she said it was very, very exciting. So,
Is she an adrenaline junkie though?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's like us soft, slow girls do not want to go on the bobsled or in the skeleton.
but then,
Or skiing. I mean, that's what I said. It's like it's going down. I think it's going fast and going down or like around things. I think is what stresses me out. I mean, actually, I even try to get away from the like inner tubing because it's downhill.
oh, like on like a
snow tube.
tubing.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So I got to tell you guys,
I just went snow tubing. It's actually so fun. That's the one thing I can do.
I just want everyone to know that I think when it comes to winter sports, it's the downward
Is
that
snow
really is.
tubing a winter sport? It's
Well,
a winter activity.
It's called snow tubing. It is wintry. Yeah, I guess it's just an
think it's
activity.
just a winter
but
activity.
I don't know. But it's
Like
like,
a carriage
you're
ride.
you're on a vessel. Like I guess it's not a sport, but like I don't know. I'm just saying that I think in general I get worried about these things because I'm going downhill, and maybe that's just it. Like maybe it's not really the.
Do you like roller coasters?
No, you know that.
Oh, you're right. We talked about roller coasters.
Guys, I do not like roller coasters. And I do
love it.
Hold on. I do like Disney roller coasters, but that's a thrill ride. That's not like, you know what I mean?
Which one you're on. Yes.
It depends which one you're on. I mean, the like 2 or 3 loops on like the rock and roller coaster, rest in peace. I just don't really feel like that's like the Incredible Hulk at Islands of Adventure, It's like a little different. It's a little different.
Well, so I'm just thinking about like the
Those
ski,
drops.
Yeah, but like the ski jump. That is so thrilling to watch, but that terrifies me to think about how because I've been, so another thing you can do, like in Lake Placid or Park City, they have it at Park City, is because Olympics were held there before, they have this really cool like Olympic Village thing you can go year round and do activities at. And where those ski jumps are, they have where you can do the, not a bungee jump, but you're like tied in and you can go down the line. And so, as if you were a ski jumper. It's so much fun. It's so much fun to do that.
You did it?
Yeah, I've done that.
Oh, wow.
But I've never been, like, I can't imagine being up there just not roped into anything and just on skis and then go whoosh and then
like flying through the air. Yeah.
And then you see, it's just
Terrible
it's crazy.
sounding.
And then the other thing that is always intriguing to me are the skiers that do the tricks. So they like come up and they get into the air and they're doing like, you know, crossing and flipping and all of those.
Like the half pipe for snowboarding. I mean, the same thing is like when you leave the ground and go into the air, that's nerve-wracking. The idea of that is just like, you know, props to them for being able to do it, but the anxiety I feel right now for them and for me even thinking about trying that, oh my gosh, no.
So when because I love the Olympics. I mean, I love it. I'll watch every sport. I love both summer and winter. But I feel the most nervous for winter sports.
I'm the same way.
Because they feel very dangerous.
Yeah.
And
you've seen people get injured there.
Really badly injured.
Yeah.
A lot.
Well, I mean, even, you know, we were talking about skiing and like, going into the air, but what about the ones that are going down those super steep...
They're going so
fast. And they're
fast.
just like trying to get around all of the flags and everything. I've seen people get severely injured on just those. It's insane.
Yeah. So, and by the time this airs, who knows what's been happening in the Olympics.
I know.
No, I think it's just really exciting, and I get a rush watching it. But I definitely have a lot of anxiety about doing those things. So now I'm not as much of a skier. I'm much more of a, like I said, the lodge person.
You're a lodge
I love
person.
watching it though, and I love being there when they get off the slopes and
Spending that time together and
yeah.
sharing in our days. Theirs a little more active than ours, but
I like winter sports vibes.
yeah, I like the vibes. I don't like the practice. And unlike Kat, it's not that I'm no longer a skier. I just never was.
Never were. But you gave it the old college try.
Oh, I gave it the old college
you tried
try. And you know
skiing
what?
and snowboarding. I'm proud of you.
And you know what? Catch me on the ice rink, kind of rocky, giving it a go. That's
When
I
was
think
your
that's
last
more.
ice skating?
Couple years ago, actually.
Okay.
Because they have one at a local park here every winter, and it's not expensive, and it's such a fun way to connect with people, and there's a lot of really great restaurants around there, so you can really make an evening out of it, and it's fun. It's like even if you only go for an hour, it's worth it to kind of feel that romantic, fun outing vibe on the ice.
Oh, I know which one I like, where they ski and then shoot. When they cross-country ski and they shoot. I love that winter sport. I love that one. And this brings me to cross-country skiing. Oh, we didn't talk about cross-country skiing. So,
She's very excited about this.
yes. So, well, it just snowed here, and there was 7 inches of snow, and my husband cross-country skied through the neighborhood. So he really likes it a lot. First time I ever did that was also in law school, and I'm pretty sure that's the only time I've ever done it. Because the skis are much skinnier. It's a lot of work. I get hot really easily. This is almost like the
flat,
shoveling.
right?
Yeah. Well, not necessarily. You can be on some hills too doing that. But so I overheat, and then I get the fear like as if I'm shoveling snow. And so, but he loves it, and he'll take like my son absolutely loves cross country skiing, and then my daughter is not as much of a fan, but she'll do it. She does it. She just went with my husband like a couple weeks ago. But what's funny about that one is because of the skinny skis, as much as they are good at it, they like it. The balance can be kind of hard, and so we have video of her just like falling over, and then she's like, "Oh my god!" Like it, just so embarrassed that because she's an athlete, like that kind of stuff doesn't usually happen to her. So it's kind of
it usually comes a little more intuitively.
yes. So that one's a fun one to watch and be part of. But
one I really actually want to try is snowshoeing.
oh, I mean, people are snowshoeing. This actually probably would have been a good time to do it. For
I
you.
know, and I didn't have any, but I think that would be a really fun like winter sports activity for me to give a go. That seems more my speed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because there's no speed.
There's no speed.
That's probably why. Yes.
Yeah. Slow, cozy girl
Yes.
needs to go on the shoes.
So let us know what your favorite snow activities are or what you're worried about with snow activities. We'd love to hear from you, and we'll look forward to seeing you next time.
Bye.
Bye.